Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Katie and welcome to another bookish adventure. So today I thought I would do something new, and it's something that I want to sort of carry on throughout the years for however long I do booktube, and that is my TBR in. So obviously this month we are doing my autumn TBR, so I'll plan to do like a spring one, probably a summer one. Winter's quite a tough one because it's kind of December, January, February, so it's a kind of weird time for me to try and place it. So I probably will skip winter. Sorry winter, I love you. It's quite weird. I'm definitely a seasonal reader at times, you know. I do have a set TBR, but when I look at a book I definitely think, oh, summer vibes, oh, spring vibes. And I don't know why I haven't done one of these sooner, because it really does make sense, but here we are. So the first book I have for you is One of Us is Lying. So I actually hope to read this month to kind of kick off my mysteries, thrillers, that sort of thing, because to me autumn winter is a mystery thriller read. I don't think I could really read one in spring or summer, not really. It just isn't, like, I could probably read it if like a book contained death and like fine, but for it to be set that genre, I just, yeah, for me it's definitely an autumn winter vibe. So this is gonna be my first one and I'm so excited about this. I have just seen so much hype for this. Yeah, I think we all know that this book is pretty loved and pretty popular, so I'm going into this with a lot of expectations, trying to like dampen them down, because you know the hype can kill things, but I am really excited about it. When I got given this I was like, yay. So yeah, I'm willing to indulge my cliche hyper teen side for this book, because it is not something I would normally go to, so I am willing to indulge just a little bit. And I'm hoping, because I've got the second book, so I really do hope that I will love this. This is the one where 5 kids go into detention but only 4 come out, so one of them dies, and I have been so good. I don't know how I've kept away from any spoilers for this book. I don't know who the killer is. I don't know how I have never seen anything. I'm so proud of myself. And then when I got the second one, it just went straight on the bookshelf. I did not read anything about it. I think the only thing I know is that it is, I think, a direct sequel to this one, and I think it's the kids who are survived are being targeted again, something like that. I don't know, literally the thing just went straight on the shelf. I was like, we are not ruining this for myself. So yeah, there is a lot of hype and a lot of love for this, but I hope it is worth it. I really hope it's worth it. Next up I bring you Meddling Kids. I mean, can we just take a minute to just I love it. I love it so much. This is another one that was recommended to my friend to me when I went to hers. We were just talking about books and I think I saw maybe the spine for this and I was just like, what's that? What's that? So the way she described this to me was like Scooby-Doo but in the 90s. I'm pretty sure was pretty much how she like did this for me, and I was like, I think I'm sold. So the premise with this book is that they are kind of like the Scooby Gang, you know, that sort of, you know, like the Something Fantastic 5 or something, like the Intrepid 5. I've never read those Enid Blyton books. I cannot remember what they're called, but they're called Something 5. And yeah, it's that kind of typical Scooby-Doo. They solve mysteries, so it's the 1970s to start with, and then I think they solve like their final one, but I think there is something either a bit sinister or something happens with it and it's a little bit and then in the 90s, you know, they've grown up, they come together. So I'm not sure how old they are in the 70s, like whether they're sort of young and like this is going to be them as either like young teens or maybe like early 20s. And I think the dog, I'm pretty sure she said the dog was like a descendant of the original dog. I think that's what she said. But then they come together because of this remaining question mark. I think she also said one of them dies and that's what brings them together. I didn't want to read too much into it because when I did, I kept seeing lots of kind of spoilery stuff, so I was kind of like, oh, go away, oh, go away. So I'm just going off what she gave me, and to be honest, it hooked me. I mean, growing up I loved Scooby-Doo, and obviously they were like the original ones, I think probably from the 50s and 60s. I never liked the newer ones, and so this just, I don't know, it seemed really different, it seemed really fun and really quite different to what I would normally read, and that's what I wanted. And also I wanted one that wasn't going to be like blood and guts everywhere, so if this turns out this is what this is, I'm going to be really annoyed at her. I plan to read this one in October. This one is going to be pretty much my Halloween read because, I mean, come on, the 90s, the Scooby-Doo vibes, just this awesome nostalgic cover, it just fits perfectly. Next up we got the Deathless Girls. I'm so excited to read this one. I cannot even tell you. So this is one of my favorite authors, but I've actually only really read all of her kids literature, and then she's brought out this young adult book, and then she also has her more adult based book, The Mercies, and I have both of these and I've yet to read them. And I thought, you know what, this is the time, because it's just, I mean, the cover alone is just, the cover alone screams autumn. So when I read this, I kind of got like an idea of what it was about, and then I read like another synopsis and I was like, oh, the idea of this is that this is kind of like a prequel to Dracula, but in the sense of his brides. Yeah, so I didn't know that to begin with, and now I know that, I'm even more intrigued, and it definitely got bumped up to be read this year. I really wasn't not that fast, but I was scared because I only read her kids literature, and I was really excited to read this. But when I found that out, I was like, oh, we gotta do that. So this is about two sisters who are taken away, and they are forced to live as slaves, and kind of all hope is gone until they meet another girl there, and they kind of band together and, you know, have a bit of hope in survival. But then they hear about this mythical dragon who is more monster than creature, aka Dracula, and they hear that he accepts girls as gifts and that it's not the greatest thing. So kind of once again, their little stable, kind of what they have in slavery, is kind of the idea of it is uprooted. So I think this is how we're going to find out how he gets his brides, or an idea of how he gets his brides. I have seen a lot of good things about this. I haven't seen much of this on Bookstagram, which does disappoint me, but what I have seen has been really positive. But yeah, once I found out that this was a sort of like a Dracula inspired book, I was like, oh hello, we're here for this. I really hope you cannot hear my tummy rumbling. I'm so sorry. Next we have The Shadow on the Lens. Again, this is not one that I've seen a lot about, but when I have posted it to Bookstagram, people have commented or they've read his other book. I think the other one is the new one, I think. And a lot of people said they weren't sure about, hadn't heard of this one. Or it might have been the other way around. I don't remember. But either way, I have seen a few people comment on this, and I'm really excited about this because 1, it's early forensics. 2, it is set in Wales, and the Welsh part of me is like, yay! I know, I'm ridiculous. So this follows a guy who develops early on, I think it's forensic photography. God, that was hard to say. And he is called to this little sleepy town in Wales where a young girl has died. And so when he's developing his photos, he sees a little creepy face. Yay! Yay for creepy faces! And then after that, he kind of just gets this weird feeling that there is like a presence sort of following him, watching him. And then it kind of gives me Wicker Man vibes, in the sense of he is trying to obviously get to the bottom of a murder. I'm guessing there's going to be some sort of police presence in this with him, so I'm kind of hoping for like a detective duo. And yeah, he's trying to get to the bottom of the murder and why this little sleepy Welsh town is so intent on keeping it secret. So my brain has automatically, it kind of has gone to the Wicker Man and has kind of gone to sacrifices. That's where I've gone. Or I don't know, they know about whatever the weird. I'm kind of like, the more I think about it and the more I talk about it, I am like, do I really want to read a book about a photo that's developed with a weird creepy face in it? Because the weird creepy face is gonna not be more than a weird creepy face. I did debate this actually for October, because this did kind of give me like Halloween vibes, but it also gave me really strong winter vibes. There's a chance I'm gonna hold this off. I will read this in December. I don't know why. It's not remotely Christmassy. The slightest, but there's just something about it that kind of just screams winter. You know what it is? On the cover there are 2 what look like nutcrackers, but they've got skeleton faces. There we go, those guys, those little guys right there. This is what's giving me December Christmas vibes. If I can, I might read it in October, I might see how I feel, but I don't know, there's just something about it that when I initially picked up, I did think December, January, just kind of had that winter vibe. And lastly, we have We Free the Stars. I'm so excited for this. My god, oh, she is chonky though, like seriously chonky, so thank you. I'm really excited for the sequel of this. This was one of these books that was, if I get time I will slot it in somewhere, because the first book, We Hunt the Flame, was one of those, oh, if I feel like it and I have time I'll pick it up sometime randomly in a month, and I did have time for it and I really loved it, and I can't wait to see where this is gonna go. I've seen so much love for this, so much love for this. I really don't want to be let down by it, really don't want to be let down by it. I've just heard so many great things and I'm so excited to see where it goes. I want more character development because we're getting there, and I just need even more, especially from our dark brooding prince. Come on. Yeah, lots of secrets got revealed, so much happened at the end of the last book, and I'm just like, oh okay, bring it on. So yeah, this is possibly gonna be my November read, depending on, I think it's just gonna depend on my mood and how I feel and whether or not I switch it up, and I might maybe read the Deathless Girls first and maybe keep this for December. I know I'm talking about December like it's autumn. I think it's just gonna depend on mood really and how I'm feeling. Like I might want to keep going with that sort of Dracula inspired vibe and then creepy face in the photo vibe. I might want to keep it going because I don't know, who knows. So the first book was about a kingdom that had magic once, and then a load of events happened and it disappeared, and then because of that there was this dark forest that sprouted up, but now it's slowly spreading out. All of these kingdoms are pretty much divided off from each other, and each kingdom has had a different, I can't think of the word, ramification from magic disappearing. Oh god, that was really hard, I couldn't think of what that was. So in Sapphira's case, where she comes from, it is now permanently snow, and she was the only person who had the ability to go into the forest and forage for food and come out alive. So she was basically feeding her village, and then this mystical woman appears, this witch, and she's like, ooh, if you want to go to the middle of the forest, there's an island, and this island there's a book, and this book could bring back magic. However, she also appears to have told a bunch of other people, because when on this island she then slowly meets a bunch of other people, one of them including the Mad Sultan's son, and he is known like just throughout everywhere as like an assassin. So his dad has tasked him with the mission of, you get that book and you kill the hunter. And at the time everyone thinks the hunter is a man, because obviously a woman doing these things just happen, and if we do these things, well then apparently plagues will be, you know, ripped upon us. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where this picks up and where it goes. I mean, she's thick, so my god, I also hope the Silver Witch has more to do with it, but I don't think she will. So I will settle for a lot more mythology of the past, and I will settle for a Mad Sultan really kind of coming into force. So that is it for physical books. Audiobooks wise, I'm definitely going to be listening to Frankenstein. I'm so excited. I did a re-listen last year of Dracula, because I read Dracula, Frankenstein, Alice in Wonderland, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde like way back in my early teens. So we're talking like 10 years plus, because let's not discuss how old I am. And it's been a while, and you know, I've seen so many adaptations, so many ballet adaptations, and I'm now at a point where I'm like, I've got to revisit these. So yeah, I did Dracula last year, I'm doing Frankenstein this year, and I'm so excited because it is narrated by Dan Stevens. So I'm like, bring it on. It's been so long, and I'm just so excited, and I know I'm just gonna get a different love and understanding for it now I'm older, and now I've like watched about 1 billion adaptations. And then I haven't really got much else, so I definitely want to do some more Harley Merlins. Again, there's something about witches that to me is kind of autumn and spring. I think it is that change of seasons really. Maybe winter, but yeah, I don't think of witches in the summer. I definitely think of witches as a spring and autumn thing. I think it is definitely that new life and like going into like the death of life, but you still have new life in autumn. Just roll with me on that. I know where I'm talking about. So yeah, I will probably do another 2 of those, and I think that will take me up to book 5, I think, and then I'll be halfway in the Harley Merlin section of that ridiculously long 20-book saga. So yeah, and when I can like pick that up next year if I feel like it, or whenever. So yeah, audiobook wise, I'm taking it quite easy, because I think some of these are going to be quite full-on and intense. So that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what is on your autumn TBR as well. Have you read any of these? What do you think? I am definitely most excited for Meddling Kids and Deathless Girls. Like, my excitement on those 2 is pretty high, apart from One of Us is Lying, but I just have a feeling I'm gonna like it. I don't know, I just have this feeling. I'm really going into this with a lot of hope and a lot of high expectations. If you want to like this video, then do that, and if you want to subscribe, do that too. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope you have a great week. I will see you in the next one.